again to Tuurosung Joseph Vital Sales Technology. Today we are going to look at another section of database management system. And today, I welcome you all for joining for this class. In today's tutorial, we are going to look at how to develop an institutional library system that will be used to manage how readers or learners use the library resources. So I want to tell you that by the end of this lesson, we should be able to have the knowledge of developing a library system on our own. And as the class is ongoing, if you have any question, just leave a message behind and I'll look at it basically. So without much ado, these are the things we shall be looking at for today. So today we are going to look at how to develop a library system. We're going to look at how to develop a library system. And, so by the end of this lesson, we are all expected to have that knowledge in developing a library system. Okay. So that is just to say, system using Microsoft. Sorry, using Microsoft Office. Okay, so this is what we are going to look at today. So let's all take notice that by the end of this class, we are all expected to be able with rules, create forms, create reports, okay, to create patterns, also create navigation menus. Okay, so these are the things we should be able to do at the end of this class. So let's take notice of that. All right, so without wasting my time, let's get started. Okay, so basically that is how everything is going to look like today. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, we would like to look at how things are going to be like today for us. Okay, so first of all, let's go to our Microsoft Access. You go to your Windows and or if you already have the software on your desktop, you just need to go straight to that and then you open. Now you can see here, you can see that there is access to the system. On this tutorial, I'm using Microsoft Access 2016. However, if you already have 2013, you can equally use it. And the differences is not all that much. So you launch your software. Okay, so this is what we are seeing. And remember, this database we are going to create is going to be a desktop database, meaning it won't be launched online. You only need to have it and you'll be managing it in your library. So you may say you are not a librarian. However, having this knowledge will help you to be able to develop software for people to manage it and to run such system in their library. So first of all, let's go. We have to go to Bland Desktop Database and open it. Okay, so now that the Bland database is open, you can see that there's already a default table 1 on it. However, we don't need that table 1, so we can close it and create. First of all, before you can have any other thing in your system, you will need to have tables. So you need to have tables before you can have forms. Okay, so basically, those of you who haven't gone through to know some terminologies in Microsoft Access, you can just check my channel. You will see some videos basically on the Microsoft Access database terminologies. I think that will help you to understand some of the things we are doing in this particular course. Okay, so first of all, we want to have a table, and then that table is basically going to contain some information about the, let's say, the borrowing of the book. So we need to have a table that will contain what the book details. You know, a library basically have to do with books. So we go to create, then in create, we go to table design. Now, you can see that we have about 3 areas here. We have the field name, we have the data type, then we have the description. So by all means, a book will have an ID. So maybe in the library, you have your book with ID. So first we need book ID here. And then this one is going to be a number. So we put a number for this. And then we need to make this one the primary key. Those of you who haven't also looked at what a primary key means, you will need to actually look at my first video posted on the introductory part of database management in Microsoft Access. I think that will help us understand more of this particular system development. And next thing is that the book should have a title. So we have title, and that should be a text. The second thing is that the book should have the author of the book. That will be a short text. Then we also have draw year. The draw year is going to be the year that the book was published. So that should be a time, as we know. Probably, but if you want, you can leave this for short text if you wish. Now we can also have the another aspect as the category of the book. This category has to do with, is the book about philosophies, is the book about let's say education, or it's about what? So that aspect is basically for that. Now the next thing is that the book should have international standard book number, international standard book number, and this should also be a short text. Then the next thing is that the book should also have a location. So location, I will let's say book location. Location. Or if you want, it can be a cell number, wherever the book is located in your library. So book location. Okay, so that is all. This one will be a short test. Now, if you want to, maybe you have already given cell names to your library, so you can put those names here. So I can just give a description, maybe probably cell 1. However, we can leave it here, but this one should be a short test, so that you know where your books are being kept in the library as a librarian. Now, the next thing we are going to do is that we need to also put the book cover number. So we are done with our first table. So we just go ahead to save this table, and okay, so we want to save the table. So how are we going to name this table? We name this table as table borrow Okay, so that is how we want it to be saved. And the next thing is that we are going to have another table that is going to be about the borrow details. So let's go to create, go to table design, and here the borrow detail is going to be the borrow ID. Then this one should be a number as well. Okay. Then the next one is going to be the staff ID. Staff ID. And this one will be a short test. No, we can leave this one as a number. The ID should be a number. And the next thing is that we are going to put a reader ID. Reader ID. This will equally be a number. Okay. Now, sorry. This will be a number. Okay. We are going to put another thing, date borrow. The date in which the person is borrowing the book. You need to enter that. So we have to get time to date for that aspect. Now the other aspect we will need to consider here is we are going to put returning date. So the time the person returning the book. So returning date is also going to be date and time. Okay, so now we can put status. And that should be short test. Okay. Now we are done with this particular table too. So we are going to just save the table. But before we save, Microsoft Access database, usually we are supposed to have a primary key for every table. So we create our primary key and then save this table. For this table, we are going to name it as TB borrow details. All right, so let's say this table and proceed. Now, another table we will need in this particular software is that we need borrow detail report. So we need to go to create table design. Then the first thing is we need an ID. Then we need a book ID as well. That is why it is a report. So it gets a report we are creating. Then title. Okay. Then we need to have quantity. Maybe the person is borrowing more than one book, so you need a quantity. So here, the quantity will have to be a number. Okay. So we will need to, the ID have to also be a number as we know, as usual. And we need to make this one as our primary key. Okay. Now we are done with this aspect. We can save this particular form and proceed to the next stage. So this one is going to be borrow details. Borrow details. Okay, so let's save this information. And the next table we will need here is we need a location as we earlier on said. So we need to create another table. So we have location ID. That is basically the location number or probably the cell number if you wish. The next thing is that we need location name. And we also need what status. Okay, so now this one should be a number. Location name should be a short test. Status should also be a short test. So our primary key is going to be the location ID here. Okay, so we can save this table as well. Okay, so here we're going to put what? Location. Okay, and we'll go ahead. Wow, so we have so far we have about 4 different tables here, and you can see that this table we have here are really very necessary, and these tables are going to guide us in whatever that we are going to do. Yeah, so Let's take notice of that. Now, the next thing we are going to consider here is we are going to have another table that will be about this. We want to have another table that will be for the staff, the one who is managing the library. So this one we are going to have staff ID here. This one we are going to have staff name. This one we are going to have gender. Agenda, let's see, we can use lookup for it. Okay, so we want to use lookup for this. This aspect is going to be awesome for the purpose. So if the person vulnerable is a male and you sell a male, or let's say the librarian, if the librarian is a male, this aspect for. So we are going to have male here. Then we have female. Okay, so click next. Let me just. Okay, so let's go to the next aspect. This one have to be the birthday of the then phone number, then staff address. Okay. Now the next thing we need here is staff position. Our position is the person holding. Maybe it's just a security officer in the library. So we also have, let's talk about the salary aspect of that. So let's now select the type, data type we want to pick. The first one we need to use a number for this. So we need to pick number here and make it the primary key. Okay. Now the next one is staff name. So it should be a self-test. This one we picked lookup option, date of birth. So date of birth should be time, date or time. Then we should pick phone number here. We can leave a short test or we can get limited to probably a number. Then address, staff address is going to be a text. Staff position will be a text. Salary is going to be a currency. So we need to select currency from the data type. Okay, so let's close this form now. Sorry, this table. So we are going to name the table as staff. Okay, so we are now going to save this. Now, I think we now need to also have another aspect for the user. Maybe sometimes a reader can go there and then probably the librarian will give the system up for the user or the reader to fill in his or her information. So we can create this portion for user. So, user should have an ID, username, and we have user passwords. Now, another interpretation to this is that maybe different people can come in there to use the system. We can have up to 3 librarians in the library. So we have to get a user for that. So the one who is going to, let's say if one comes at this particular period, another person comes at this particular period, they should have different accounts so that when there are issues regarding to the borrow the books, you can easily track out to know the one who issued the book in a particular time. So that is the main reason why we are creating this particular table. So we are going to have user password, then user position, position here. Okay, the next thing we go to have staff ID here. Okay, so now let's select our data type. The first one is going to be a number, but we can use auto number for this. Okay, so the next one is going to be a short test. Password will also be a short test. Position will be a short test. Staff ID will be a number. So let's pick a number here. Now let's make ID as our primary key. Then let's close this table. Then we'll save it. as user. Okay, so now we are done with about 6 different tables. But after getting table, it is good you also get the form, because table cannot be done without. Tables are basically part of the database that stores the database. It stores the information. Okay, so we need to now get forms. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create. We will go to form wizard. You can see form design here. You can see form wizard. So go to form wizard. Now here, this particular form we are creating is going to be for which aspect of a database? Okay, the first aspect is that we are going to create a form about us. Now, I also want to, before we proceed to do another thing, let's get a table that will contain about. Okay, or we can create a form, and this form is going to be only for the just to display some details about the library. So here is just a form. So we're going to put a text box here. So let's do that. Okay. Good. So this is a text box. Now on this one, we are going to input an information. So this library is going to be, let's say, learning arena. Library management system. Okay, so we can put an address here. So you can put another information here. Maybe the bottom of the post. Okay, I think this way is okay. However, I don't even think this is necessary. We can decide to ignore this because it may not be necessary for us. So let's go ahead to create our forms. So the first form we need is that we need a form that is going to contain an information or that will allow to enter information of the borrower. So first we create a form for borrower. So we go to form, create form, go to form with that. Then let's look at what we are looking for here. You can see that we have all those details we entered are here. So you slow down and look for the one you are creating this form for. Okay, so we have book ID, we have title. Yeah, so you can see that it's about test borrower. So this form is going to be for all this information. So if you click here, you will only send this particular email. You are selecting only the book ID to create the form for. So, but we want the form to contain all this particular information. So we just need to click here and select all to be transported to this particular square box. And then you hit next. So how do we want our form to be like? Maybe we want our form to be a columnar, tabular form, data sheet, or justified. So you select, so we'll just select columnar and proceed and finish the form. Okay, so you can see that our form is now trying to structure. One thing I like about Microsoft Access is that it is very sensitive to make your web very easy. Wow, you can see this is how our form is going to be like. Now, the next thing we're going to do is that we have to edit this form to be like the way we want it to be. But you can see that the interface is not as expected. So we just need to click on here. You can see view. Then you select design view. Then you allow to edit the form as well. So here we want to do a lot of editings here. Okay, so first of all, we don't want this information to be on the heading. So we want to change this heading here. Let's say maybe borrower details, borrower form. Okay, so we want to also probably we need to drag this, okay, so the heading will be a little bit larger. Okay, so now let's see. This one, what are we going to do? Okay, so we need to drag this from, and the next thing is that we make it fill here, fill that. Then we need to center this text. So go to home, then go to format and center the text. You can see where it is located now. We want to now change the text color. So we can select the text color. How do you want the text to appear? Do you want it green, or which color do you want? So here you select green. We can make it bold. You can make it Arrow, so it can be clearer. And if you think the font size is too small, you can also select font size that can make it bigger, depending on your choice. Okay, so the next thing that we want to create a border around this particular thing. So as you can see, okay, so sorry, let me hide this image. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is that we want to make some editings on the heading border. So you need to go to the font properties. Then here you can see border width. So you click on it and select the width. We pick 3. Now you can also pick the border color. Which color do you want the border to be? So you can check through. You can see border color here. You click there and select the border color. So the color we want, probably we want pink, or we want this color. You can see that it is over there. Then how do we want the border color to be? Maybe the style of the border is also necessary. Okay, but we can leave it as it is. All right, so but we can pick any depending on our choice. And the next thing that we want to also change the background of this particular heading. So we just go to back color, and look which color will be nice. But you need to pick a color that the text can still be seen by the user. So we can pick, can we pick this color there? Let's see, no, the text will not be seen. We can pick, let's see this color. Will the text be clear? Okay, so if we are picking this color, we will need to change the font color. So let's pick, let me see this. Okay, this one is perfect. So I think this is okay. So the next thing we're going to do, we want to come here and reduce all the sizes. So what you need to do is that you can just click here, drag. Sorry. You can just click here. I want to select all and make them be in the particular shape. So the next thing we are going to reduce it. This way is okay, perfect. And we want to also select this information. Okay. Sorry. Yes, we can enlarge this a little bit. Okay, good. So the next thing we want to select all this text. Sorry. Select all this text. Okay, so we can, perfect. Now I want to try and send it there. This way. Good. I think this way is better. Now you can make a whole lot of formatting here. You can see this text this way. It's cool. We can also reduce this one. So you can move alongside with its corresponding title. Okay, so let's reduce this. Good. Okay. Now that we have this information here, what do we need to do? We need to also make some editing to the font background and the border. Okay, so here just click on any empty space here, meaning you are going to deal with this form. So what you need to do is that you right click, then you go to form properties. When you come to the form properties, you can see the properties here, and we can put a border to this form. So let's see border here. You can see the border style. The style you want your form to be. You can pick it, and let's see what again do we need. Let's look for something. Okay. You can also see weight here. So let's pick. Let's see the weight we want. So we can pick 9.0. You can see that it's too much. So I think we can move forward there. Okay. Then what again do we need? Okay. Now, can we get a background color for this? So let's look for background. Let's look for background here. Okay, okay. So I think this way is okay. So let's see what we can do with this form. But we can change the background color to something. Let me see this. Okay, this way, okay. Maybe we need to make it more transparent rather than what we have here. So let's pick something like this. Okay, this way is okay. Now we can try to see what again do we need to do here. Okay. All right, let me see if we can put some styling over here. Okay. Not what I want to show. Okay. All right, so this is what we have done so far to the form. Okay. Maybe if you still want to do some other thing to the form, you can do it. But to me, I think this way is okay. However, if you still want to add some formatting, the properties are here, and you can select them as you wish. You can see them here. You can make the form the height of the form you want. You can see the height here is already, we want it to be visible, so it's visible. Also, one song, let me say, how do we want the background to be? We want it to raise, so we can pick raise here. Then the height is okay. Okay, shrink, display. So we want it to only display. Okay, now this is what we have done to the form. Okay, so let's close, save this form and close and see what we see. But I still don't want it to be this way. We need to add other informations. Basically, want to add something like edit and then save. The moment you enter information, you edit, or there can be a button for editing and saving. So let's drag this down so that we can get more space and do other stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is that we need to go to the design view. Then in design view, we want to add a button that you can use to edit this form information. You can also use to save the form information. So you click on the button, then you come and where you want your button to be, click and drag. Then you can see a pop-up menu here. This pop-up menu contains form operations that you want them to be. So we want to add a portion like edit. So let's go through and look for what we can get. Okay, so here you can see we have undo. So we can pick this aspect, proceed. We rename the undo as what? Edit. So edit here. Hit next. Finish. Now this one, we want to push some styling to it so that it can look better. So here we can go to format, we go to shape, then we select this particular styling. That is what I like. Then we can change the background of this particular, we can pick this. Then we can change the text to probably white if we wish. And then we can make it more bold. We can change it to Arab. Proceed. Now we can enlarge this particular button. Okay. Good. You see our button is, so we want to add some background styling to it. We can look background here. You can see border. So we want to make border color white. Okay. Then we want to choose a border width. So we just need to click on this border width. Select the way we want. 3 pixels. And we are free to go. You can see our button is available here. The next thing that we want to add another button for saving the information. Add another button. Click and drag. As you click and drag, another pop-up menu. Go to Form Operations. Go to Save. Click Yes. So you can save. You can add save info if you wish. Good. Then you click Next. Finish. Come and format this form. You can drag it the way you want it to be. Go to Design, Format View. Go to Shape. Select the style I like most. Select this. Go to change the background. Go. Test. Bold. Arrow. All this one do it there by choice. If you want, you can do them. If you don't want, you can leave. Okay. Now, the next thing that we want to also give the same border width. Then we add a border color. Okay. And this border color, we can give it red. Wow, that is great. So this is our information now. The next thing that we also want to add another button for deleting the information that you have entered. Maybe you mistakenly entered a person's information. You want to delete, or the person doesn't want to continue borrowing the book. So we add another button for delete. Okay. Go to Phone Records, select delete, go to next. You can say delete info. Hit next, finish, edit the form, my view, select background. This time around, our background, we want it to be of a different color. So then the text white, bold, Arab. Go to background, border width. You can pick 3, border color. This one we can pick white again, or whatever we can pick green. Then we drag this to be in line with the other 2 buttons. Okay. Now we go to shape, go to my favorite shape, then we are done with it. Now we can see this button, we have about 3 different buttons here. And then that is just basically what we want to see in the form. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is that we want to get another button here for closing the form. So we go to Design, add a button, and this button is going to close the form. Okay, so we go to Form Operations. You can see close form here. Next. Okay, we want to leave an image. Finish. You can see this button here. So when someone clicks this particular button, it will close the form automatically. So that is how this particular thing is. So let's drag it and put it here. We can increase it width a little bit. Then we can format it as we did to the other one. Go to Format, go to Shape, go to my favorite shape. Then you proceed. We want to add some border to it, as usual. This one around this border, put 3. Then we go to the border color. This color, should we put? We can put red. Okay, so we are done with this particular button form. So the next thing that we want to now see, this is what we have. So let's try to close the form. Okay, so save. We are done with this form. Okay. The next thing that we want to get another form for the book details. So we'll go to create form, go to form wizard, go to select the one you are creating this particular form for. What we are creating for the book details. So this one, transfer all this information there, create, finish. This particular aspect of the book details, we can make it a tabular form this way. Go to next, finish. Okay, so you can see how the form is going to be like. Wow. But I really don't like this nature of the form. So let's close it and we pick different one. We can go to the same form design, form wizard, then details, transport the information there, go to next, follow, and we are done. Okay, the form has come. This is how the form is going to be like. But you see how the form is not nice, so we can just try to okay, so we have to try to format the form here. Okay. Then let's try to reduce this size. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so here we want to extend this information here. So let's select this. Let's pull it a little bit. Okay, so I think this way is okay. Okay, so now the next thing that we want to rename the heading here. So borrower details. Okay, so let's put borrower details. Let's center it. Go to format, center this. Drag. Good. Increase the font size for this. Change the color. This color should we pick? This one I'm going to pick this color. Change the background to white. No, I don't like white. We can change it to okay. So this way is okay. Or we can even change the text to white. Wow. Now let's give it a border width. Let's say 3. We can give a border color. Let's say this color. Then that is all. The next thing that we are now coming down to see whether we'll need some operations here to be done. So we'll come and click in the form and go to the background. You see which background will shoot this particular aspect. We want to pick this. Then maybe we will need to do another thing here, special effect. We want it to be raised. The border should be raised. Then what are we need? I think this way is okay. I really don't want to make the form complicated. Okay, so if you want to do another thing, you can do it here. As far as this tutorial is concerned, we want to catch up with time. Okay, so this is what we did here. Now we want to load this form. But before we close the form, we need some buttons again. And we want to have, let's go to design view. We want to add a button like preview report of the form. Go to next. Okay, but now we haven't created any report, so let's go on with that. We can go to refresh data. We want to add this aspect. Come there. Okay, so this is refresh data. Then go to the next. Finish. So this aspect will refresh the information you have entered. Okay, so as usual, you follow the same process and format this particular button. Okay, so go to text color. We want to pick this bold, other. Okay, so we want to pick two. For now, we can enlarge it. Okay. Now we can give it a border width 3. Go to border color. Border color, we can pick this. Okay, so this aspect is also gone. The next thing we want to do is that we want to probably add another operation like edit details. So go to form design, go to buttons, then we add edit here. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to form operations. We look for no, so we can add save. Okay, next, save, finish. So save. As we do, go there, edit the text, put width, arrow, border. Then we'll go to border width 3, shapes, effects. My favorite shape, shaped color. You pick the color you want. So this one, pick this, and we are done. So I think these two operations are good. Maybe we can decide to add another. We can add another aspect like delay record. Go there. Then okay, so let's put it here and then finish and do something. Okay, so delay record. So you look for delete. So next, we are done. But we want to put the delay record down here. So let's drag this a little bit. So pick it up from where it is. Then place it here. Okay. My phone is jammed. Okay, but I think where it is not bad. Yeah. If you want, you can still put it where you want it to be. This way, it's not bad. You can put it here. Then let's format the text. Bold. Arrow. You can put use red, because red means something danger. So it means you are deleting it. So we can give a border width 3. Go to this shape effect, favorite shape, border color. You can pick. You can pick which color. Okay, this one, let's give this color out. Okay, so we can see that I want to reduce this more. Okay. Wow. Let's bring this small. Good. So this is what we now have. You can see that it is okay for now. But this detail here, I think we can drag it a little bit. So let's pick it up. Want to squeeze, it's too large. Good. This one, we can pick it up too as well. Drag it closer to. Okay, so now our form is okay. Okay, we want to make this space. We want to make it large so that information can enter well. Okay. Okay, I think this way is okay. All right, so we are free to go. Please remember to ask me questions. If you think that you are watching the tutorial and you are not getting things clear, you can just leave your comment behind and I'll attend to you as soon as possible. So we have this information and I think it is okay for now. Now, but remember that you can equally change the text color for this information. So we can make it dark. Okay, so go to this, select chromatic dark, make it bold. Wow, and this is perfect. This is perfect. Or we can give any other color that we think is okay. I can give this. The background is away. So let's change the background. The background. Good. This way is okay. All right, so we can close this form. We can close this form. Okay, so the next form we will need to have here is we are going to have another form that is going to be a form for the borrow aspect. No, let's get a form for the location. So go to create, go to form with that. And this time we're going to select location, export, hit next, finish. So let's wait for this to load. Okay, so this is, now we are going to format this form. You go to view, design view, then we format this form. So as usual, let's reduce the length of this. Okay, so here we are going to reduce the length to this, which is okay. Now, we can do the same thing here, but this one, so let's enlarge this a bit. So let's have this. Let's drag it closer. Let me reduce this a little bit. This way. This way. Okay, so this one, you can see that this one is not enlarged. So let's enlarge this location a little bit. Okay, so this is okay. You can move it this way. Okay, so now that you can see that everything here is okay for us. You can equally change the styles. I mean the color of the text. So, but the border too, I really don't like the border. So we can equally change the border here. So let's highlight the whole information. Go to format, change the text color to this, make it bold, make it Arab. Then we go to the background, we make it this. Yeah, so this way is okay for us now. Okay, so do we need to put some operations here? So this aspect vehicle for the location of the form. So we can add something like search button here, so that. But before we do that, let's change the heading for this. So you can put book location. Okay, so and book location. Let's drag this. Finish it up. Let's turn it up there. Okay, so let's enter this. We want to give it a different color. Put this color there. Bold, Arab. We can increase the font size. 26. Wow. So this is what we have. As usual, we are going to give it a border. I believe we can give a border color. Which color will be okay for this? Can we pick this color? No, it's too bad. So let me see this. Then this is not bad. It will match with the, but let's change it so that we can. Good, this is perfect. Well, okay. The next thing we're going to do that we're going to do some effect here as usual. Waste. Then okay, so this is where we have gotten to. And this one we want to add a button like search button. So we go to design button. Then we want to add a search button here. Search button here. So the search button, the form operation is going to be fine. Let me see. You can okay. It's fine. So go to the next. So final record. Or I should rather use, okay, we can use this. Next, finish. Okay, so this is what we want. Okay, so in this way, let's reduce, we can squeeze it a little bit. So as usual, I like my format, so we can go there, give it a shape. This one, we can put this shape there. Then we can give it a color. Then the text can be something else. This way. Bold. Arrow. And that is perfect. We will need to give it another border as usual as we do. So we can give this border color as which color should we give? Or we can give it white. Okay, so we are done with that. I think this way is okay for the form. Yeah. Okay, the next thing is that we are going to which form should we put again? I think we can get another form basically for main menu, but we haven't finished. We haven't finished with the form for the staff. So let's go to get that done. Then we can proceed to the next stage. Okay, so here we are going to get a form for the staff and then that of the user. So go to create, go to form wizard, then look for the one you want to create for staff, process, next, down with that aspect. So we now do the necessary formatting here. So you're going to click on view, design view. Okay, so here we want to format this text. Okay, so select this user information. Okay, so good. We want to do same here. All right, so let's move this closer to the corresponding. Okay, so good. Here, consider the length of this too much. So we can reduce their length. Let's reduce this. Let's reduce this. Let's reduce this. Okay, so as you can see now, our system is almost ready. Okay. Now what is next? We now need to highlight the whole information here and change the text. Okay. But what we can also do is that we can give a different text to the titles. We can give this one dark color. Go to format, give it black, give it dark. Then select this. This way it becomes sidechain. Now we want to also give another color for different color for the text that the person will be entering. So we need to give it a color like this. Go to this. Okay, so this one can also be bold. Okay, so as we can see now, our form is almost ready. However, you know, this one like this is this one is a proper menu, so we can reduce it. Okay, to this side. Okay, I think this way our form is okay. So we can go to do this type of thing. We want to change the title to staff. Okay, so as usual, we change the title color, bold, then we can change the okay, so we need to change the text to center, and that is almost gone. Okay, so now that we have this information here, we probably need to put some other information that we can put some. Okay, so let's see here. I think this way is okay. Yeah, this way is okay. So, but I would like us to do something. Okay, this way is okay. Now, what we are going to do is that we need to give it a border as usual. We want the border to be raised. So you can easily see the difference between the main form and the border. The border usually helps you to do all the necessary things that are required. Now, if we give it a border, it will give a distinction, or it will let you know the limit of the form. So that is one of the reasons why I like the border. But we can also put a border color here if the text is going to be of this nature. So how should the border color look? Okay, so I think the border color, as we can see, this way is okay for us. Okay, or if we want, we can also pick a different color, something like this, something like this. Yeah, I think this way is okay. We can select this information here. Select this information and give it a different border color. So let's pick this color. Okay, good. So it means that the text have to be a little bit bigger so that as people are entering, you can see. I think this way is okay. Now we can close this form. Save. So what is next? We can see that now the next thing that we are not having is the user. So we want to create a form for the user. So go to create, go to form wizard, then you select the one you are creating this for, and that is the user. Okay. Now you export this, go to next. How do you want this form to appear? We just want this form to be in a tabular form, or probably however we want it to be like. I think it's not bad. Okay, so here we go to next, select finish, then it will come for us to do our necessary editings. So go to view, go to design view, then we do the formatting here. So now I'd like to reduce this font size. Okay, so before we do any other thing, let's try to work on this. Review the size of this. Good. Now let's do same to this. Let's reduce this particular size. User position is too big. So let's reduce this. Okay. Reduce this as well, because they are just going to pick just some few information. So we can just reduce it this way. Even the ID cell, we can reduce it good this way. Now we can bring this. This way is okay for the form. Now the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to change this heading to admin and center it. Just in the center. Then let's drag this. Then make it bold. We can change the color of this to this color will be okay. I think this way is okay. Now we can give it Arrow. Good. Here we want to change the background. So let's give it which background will be okay for this? No. We give it to good. This way is okay. Now the next thing we are going to do is that we want to give it a border. So border width 3. No, this time I'll give 4. Then we'll give it a border color. Border color here. You can give it this text. Then we now have this. We can come here and make editing to this data platform. So we want to give it this color. Then we want to also add an effect as usual, the border raised. Then now that we have this form, I think we need to add something. So before we add something, let's drag this a little bit. So what are we going to do here? We just need to put an information here. So I'm going to put a username. So Joseph, be the username. Then the password is going to be something like this. This is the password. Okay, but the other information, what I only need to do is that I just need to enter them. Then I proceed to open my form. So what I will do is that I will need to add a button, and that button will operate whenever I enter the information finish. I'll just click on that button and open the form for me to proceed. So I add the open button. So you go to form operation. Then here you select open form. Next. Then which form are we going to open? That is user. Next. So we're going to use open the form and find specific data to display. Open the form and show all the records. So let's say if we pick this, let's see what we'll do there. Which information do you want it to display? We want okay, which field contains matching data the button can use to look up information. Select the field and then click the button. Now, when we go here, what we need to do is that we will need to rather select open form to all records. Then here we are going to what? Enter something like log in. So log in. So let's see. Good. Click next. Finish. So this button is ready like that. Okay, so we now have to put another effect to it. Go to effect as usual, put it there. The color, bold, around. Okay, so we will need to reduce it a little bit. Okay, so this is what we have now. Okay, so when the user enters his information, he just need to hit, and it will open for him to proceed. Now, the next thing we need to do is that we want to add a border to it, and the border is just going to be 3. Then the border color, we just need to pick something to it. Let's use this. Okay. I think this way is okay. Now we are done with this. So when the user enters the information finish, you can just hit login and it will open the form for him. Now we can also add another button like reset. But okay, we can add another button like the user can maybe he has mistakenly entered the information. He can enter to reset details. So we can add that particular option here. Okay, so let's add it here. Reset. So form operations. Undo. So let's add a reset. So next, hit fetch. Then we'll do the necessary functionalities here. This one around there, we need to give it right. Go to arrow. Okay, finish. Then let's go to our style. Give it there. Go to border width. Give it there. Go to border color. Then you select the border color you want. Okay. So the border color we want here is we want to give it a white. Okay. So this, now we can now enlarge it a little bit. I think the white will not be okay. The border color will not be okay. So let's give it way. So this way, we can now drag this to here. Then this one will be here. Okay, so our form is now ready. Okay. The next thing we are going to do is to close this form. Okay, so it means we are finished with this form. We close form. And that is all. What are we going to do the next moment? What again do we need? We will need to get form operations. Okay, and those form operations are basically going to be like a navigation. So I'm going to create a navigation memo, and this navigation memo is going to help us. So after we are done with that, we are going to, okay, but before we do that, let's create a report. So we'll go to create, then go to report with that, then create a report for what we have done. So here, we are going to create a report for the book details. So just transport all this, create net, go. Then you can sort records by up to 4 fields, either ascending or, so go to next. Then how do you want the report to be like? Want the report to be in the column? Want the report to be of this nature, justified, or any form? So we just need to go straight, hit next. What title do you want the report to be? We can put, this report is basically for borrow report. So we are done with that. We hit finish. So this report is created. Okay, so as you can see, the report is created. We can go to, well, okay, so this is how the report should be like. Now we can go to another aspect of which we need to let's go here. We want to create a different, here, let's go to design. We want to see how this report looks like. Wow, this is how the report is. So we need to enlighten this a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I think this way is okay. We can change the heading of this. Borrower report. Okay, so borrower report will be okay. So let's format this. We send it to the middle. What name should we give? Type color to we give to this? We can just give it this color. Make it bold. Alright. Okay, so let's enliven this. Okay, so this is how our report is going to be like. Perfect. But before any other thing, we will have to reduce this. Okay, but I think this way is okay. So this is how we want our report to be. But we can change that. We can also give a border to this particular. Good. So what color do we want to give to this? We can give you, we can give this color to the border. And okay, so that is it. By what background do you want to give to the heading? So we can give this background to it. Okay, this way is okay. You can see that borrower's report. So we can come here and give border to this. And let's see, effects. So select erase. Then that is all. We are done with this aspect. So we can just close it. But the other thing I would like us to look at is, how do we want our report to be like? Because right now, we just have this report. We can close the form, but here we need to give something to it. Report. Okay, so this way we can give it wrist and border, background color the same. Okay, I think this way is okay, but we will need to change the color of the text. So we will need to highlight all this, go to bold, then which color do you want it to be? Maybe we can just pick a much appreciative title. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so we can equally do same to this particular text here. And you can see that when they enter the information here, what we need to do is to give how do we want the text to appear as the people are entering the form information. Okay, so let's highlight this all, give it a text dark. Then that is all. Come to this, highlight this, give it dark, and that is all. Okay, so we are done with this particular report. You can close this report. Then the next thing we want to do is that we want to give another report for the photo details. So we go to create, go to report wizard. Then here we are going to select this export. This is going to be the book details. So let's remember that. Okay. So now we are going to edit this report. As the people come to borrow the book, we are going to enter the details of the book. So that's the purpose of this particular report. So we are going to open it in the design view. Okay, so design view. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. You can see that we need to enlarge this a bit. Then book details, book detail report. Detail report. So we are going to put this in the center. Then we give it a color. I like this color so much. Then let's enlarge this. Good. Let's give it a bold. Arrow. Then that is all. Now let's see. Here we need to enlarge this particular aspect of it a little bit. Okay. We can now, wow, category, book. Okay, let's enlarge this a bit. Okay, so we are done with this particular but we will need to do some changes here because when you look at the text, it's not seen clearly. So we need to reduce and enlarge this. Okay, so now we can now see the book ID, book title, and the rest are clear. So we can also now reduce this, then enlarge this. Then, okay, so but the book ID is still not seen clearly. So we can still reduce the title and enlarging the book ID here. So that is what will help us. Okay, so but you can see the book title will need an information more than a text that will be longer than that of the book number. So we need to reduce the book number here. Then rather increase the other one. So here we need to click this and drag and put it here. Book location. We click and drag, put it over there. This one we click and drag and put it over there. Now we need to enlarge this here. Okay, so the next is the book number, international book number. So this one too, we need to drag and send it there. Do same to this. Send it there. Then the book category, we need to enlarge this. That is our main focus. Do the same thing here. We can just click and drag, or we can enlarge this to match with. Okay. So here we now have it as perfect. A year, I think it's also okay. The author name is also another aspect. However, everything can enter. So what we need to do now is to add. Okay, so good. This is what we are looking for. So we can now give it a text color. Here, make it bold a little bit, and that is all. Maybe if we want to change the background, we can change the background and give it something. This will do. Then here we can equally give a border width to it. So good. Now let's give it a border, and the width should be 3. We can give it a color, border color as here. This one is going to be of this color. Fine. Now that we are done with this, I think we can close this form because it is almost done. Okay, so let's give this color transparent. Okay. So let's save it. All right, so what other report do we need to give? We probably want to give report details also on the staff. So we can go to create, and this time around we are going to give the staff reports. So report result. Then select the staff, transport this, click next, next, finish. Okay, so here we want to edit this. So you go to design view. Okay, so this we are going to leave it at this. Okay, so what we now need to do is that we are going to enlarge this so that we can do all the necessary editings that are expected. So let's do that here. Okay. This is okay. So let's add the text and edit it. As earlier on said, this one we will need to make it bold, but we are going to give it this color. Then staff name, staff what, staff name, okay. Staff name, staff ID. Okay, so let's reduce the salary. Good. This way. Okay, so I think this way is okay. Okay, so we are now done. Gender here. Okay, staff name. Let's drag this. Okay, so this way. Okay, so this one we can align this was staff ID. Wow, this we need to send it there. Okay, so this information is equally ready, so we can change this background color to something else. Then we can change this text color to white. Bold. Then proceed. Drag it. Then center it there. Okay, so this is it. Staff. This one is okay. So we just need to give it a border. Border width 3. Then give it a okay, so that is it. Now the next thing we now need to do here is okay, so okay, that is it. So we can load this form. But before we close the form, let's reduce this length here. It's too large. We can close it. Okay, so let's load the form now. Yes. Wow. I'm tired, but we have to finish this project today. Okay, so the next thing we need to do now, we want to create and navigate. So that no one will be able to add it, let's say, to edit this particular form. So we need to go to create. But before we create, we need to get some navigations, like in the aspect of the form, where you can have print report. So let's go to form. Okay, let me open this place. Want to add print report. So print. So print. We can leave it there. Print. Okay, so this one is okay for us. Yeah. If you want, you can give it a border. That is by choice. Okay, so we are done. So let's close this and let's save. We want to now give it a navigating name. So we go to create, we'll go to navigation. We select horizontal tabs and vertical tab left. That is what we want to do at the moment. So when we do this, it will help us a lot. So just as you can see, we want to put which aspect is going to be here. The first one we want here is we are going to put here. Then we are going to put borrow then we're going to put another aspect here that is borrow detail. Then another aspect we want to put here is going to be location. Then we want to put another one here, staff. Then we want to put user. Okay, so we can see that this one needs to be enlarged small. So let's enlarge it to the top and enlarge this. Okay, so this way is okay. Now let's come to admin. So we want admin. Do we really create information for admin? Okay, so it's going to be, let me see. User. Okay, so good. That is what is going to happen now. Okay, so so we come here in the admin aspect. We need to click and drag, put it there. So you see, this is how it's going to be like. So we come to borrow, then borrow. That aspect is for which of the information is for this information. So click and drag, put it there. The next aspect is okay. This one is not needed here. So we need to remove it. So borrow is going here. Okay, so wow, what is happening? Okay, so we can change this one to borrow. Okay, so this one we will remove this particular information. The next one that we are going to send to borrow details. So click here and drag. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so that's borrow details. So let me see borrow here. Okay. Okay. Wow, that is perfect. Now, location, we click and drop it there. Come to start, click and drop it there. Go to user, click. Or user is going to be the same as the borrower. Okay, so here we can remove this particular aspect. So let's see. Okay, so this is okay. I think this is how, wow, that is perfect. All right, so here, what we now need to do is to, okay, we need to now format this particular navigation. So click here, then design view, we want to change this particular area. As usual, I will pick my shapes, then I'll give it 10. What should we give to this? So the text, you can give the text as, all right? Okay, so this way is okay. The next thing is that we are coming to pick borrow. So we'll give it another shape. Then this one is equal going to be waist. Then we made a text this way. Wow, that is it. Now this one we are going to give it a different we give it a different color. The background we can give it as this, and so leave the text that way. The next one is location. So we can give it a different color. Let's say this color. Then give it a shape, and the shape is going to be this. Okay. Let's increase the font size. The next one is going to be staff. We give it a shape. Put it there. And this one we are going to give it a background white and change the text to dark. Let's say, okay, so here we are going to make this text more clear. Okay, this is how it's going to be. Wow, this is perfect. Now this is what we have, and we need to change the heading of this. So we change this heading to the name of our library. So this library, I'm going to name it as Computer Learning Arena Library. Or better still, I can name it as my business name. I can say Vital Source Knowledge. Vital Source Technologies. Vital Source Technologies. So this is what we want it to be. We center it. Then give it a text. So how do we want the text to be? Maybe we want a particular text for this. So I'll give it a white background. Then okay, so this one is okay. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is that we want to put an image on this background. Okay, so we need to put image background, then select an image. But before that, so let's look for where we need to put the background to this form. So let's go to the font storage. Then look for the image that I want to. So I have an image that is in the folder here. So let me look for the folder, and we use that image for our form background. Okay, so you know, the form is basically, or the system is basically about the library. So we need to get an image that is also about library. So what we'll do is that we are going to copy this particular library image. Then we are going to paste it over there. Okay, so copy this. Then let's go back to our database. Now here, we paste this particular picture. Good. Our picture is not shown. Let me see. Okay, it's not trying to show up. So what we'll do is that we go to let's remove it. We go to see if we can get an image for that regard. So we are going to download an image library. We want to get an image for that. So here we can see there are so many images that is about library. So you can select any of them and try to put it as our library background. So here, which of these images will be good for us? So you can just try to go through, see the one that is much suitable for. So library is basically books. So we can pick this image here, or you can pick this image. Any of them is. So you can copy this image. Let's go back to our database. Now we paste it here and see whether it will appear or not. Okay, you can see that it has appeared now. So now we go to the properties. We can go to arrange. Then we want to put this one, send it to back. But we still need to do something to it. Let me bring it front. Then we need to stretch, go to the properties. Then this image, we want the image to be stretched. So let's see image here. Where the image, you need to. Okay, this is image. So we want the image to how do we put this image? So we okay, but you can see here, you can equally do the same thing here. So let me see if I can get that same image to put it there. Good. So our image has appeared. So what we now do is that we need to now enlarge this image to fill the background. Okay. So so this image here, what we need to do is that we have to, let's put it here. You can see that we can see the image. So let me try bringing it forward. So what we'll do is that I wanted her to put the image in such a way that it will be helpful, but it's trying to misbehave. So we cancel. Let's see, like what I copied and brought. I can paste it here. Let me see if it will come. Okay. It has not come. All right. Okay, so okay, so here you can decide to add a logo to your form. All those things are really considered to be a waste of time. But in our next video, I'll be taking you through how to deal with the images. I have realized I have even gone out of the course outline for this particular class, but it's not bad. So here we want to add another button, and that button is going to be close the application. So we are going to add that button here. So you can see close application. So we want to select the application, then we are going to add this particular aspect of it. So once you click on it, it will close the application. So that is what we want to do here. So here you can see that it is added. So we now have to do some formatting to it. And you just need to go to the format and we select the format here, as usual, my favorite. Then you need to select border width 3, select border color. And you know this one is basically about formatting, so you can select the border color as red. You want to close the form, so that is all. You go to make it bold, and that is all about that. So we now have to go ahead to save this and proceed. But before we do any other thing, I would like to let us take notice of some options here. And you can see there are some functionalities. And when you are here and you will need to do some things here, we can just drag this because you can see that the information here is a little bit too tight. You can't even see what is over there. So we just need to enlarge this a little bit. Then go to pull this to the other side of it and to merge with it. Yeah, so let's also drag this one as fast as possible. Then we don't need to reduce the size of this, reduce the size of that. Then the next thing we are going to do is to make sure that the text here is going to be different from the heading. So we can just make this text probably a little bit different. So we can pick up. Should we pick this color? Good. I think this color will do. And pick this color. Okay, but you can see that the color cannot be seen. So the color is not clear. So we need to pick this. Or however, we can just give this the same color and rather change the title color to dark. So let's pick this and go there, pick dark, big. Okay, so this one is okay for us for now. So this is what we are going to have. And here, when you get to this option, it means that you can do your operation. So we can just close this form and save it. It says save changes to the following. You click yes. Then what is going to be this? So we are going to put main menu. Okay. Now we are done with our form. So what you just need to do here right now is that you now have to do some important thing. We just need to click save to save this form. And as the form is saved, the next thing we're going to do is we need to do some setting. You go to here, then go to the option view. We want to prevent you from editing the form. So you go to option. Then in the option, you come to current database. You enter the database name. You can see that the database name is what? Vital source. Vital source. Library. So now, if we have an icon, we can use an icon for it. So we just look for the icon here and select the icon and use it. So don't have an icon here. All these things I have here are not icons, but let me see. You can just pick this, use it there, and see whether it'll work for us. The next thing we're going to do is that we want to hide this. Then we scroll down. We want to also hide this. We want to hide allow full menus. No, we don't want to allow full menus here. So what we need to do is to do something. So to this aspect, what the next thing you have to do, you have to remove this checkbox. You remove it, allow the default shortcut. Then when that is done, the next thing that we click OK. So you can see a pop-up here. We should close our icon is not. So by the sense, you must close and reopen the current database for a specific option to take effect. So we'll do that. Just click close. Then now let's look for the database. Where is it now? We now need to look for where our database is. And you need to just go to click on the Microsoft Access. Then as it opens, we will go to open that database. And right now you can see that the database is here. Okay, so let's open it up. And you will see that the left side of the form, the database, all those information will not be there again because we have disabled users from using the making editing to the database. So that is basically how it's going to be like. Okay, so we are waiting for the form to. Okay, so as you can see, our database is here, and if we want, we can open it up and see how it is going to do. Okay, so basically that is how database is being designed or structured. Okay, so I am really grateful of your time. And you can see that at the long run, we'll be able to do all the necessary aspects of this particular course. And I will admonish that you all try to subscribe to my channel. And that is the only way that can help us get latest videos regarding to database management and other educative or educational tutorials on computers. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and share, like the videos and download and watch to participate fully and move by the steps that is given in the video. Please also check on the video description. You will see my official website, and you try to access the data, a whole lot of information there that can help you alongside the video tutorial to ensure that at the end, you will be able to make use of our online tutorials. Thank you once again, and stay blessed. Take care. Bye.